Inside clip 2 and outside zone 2. We're ready to send it here in our Royal Purple Top 16. Nick Novak, Honda Tire, Novak Racing, BMW. Initiating into that outside zone 1. Diego Higa, a little bit lower than Novak. He gets involved with that wall. He went on a date with that thing. Let's see if he gets married to it. Diego Higa, bathing in the smoke, dives in on the inside. Gets lost and blinded by the smoke, not by the light. Into that second outside zone. Getting to the creases, Nick Novak, and bring it on home. So Nick Novak, a solid run, really leaving nothing in the judge's hands. He got it to the wall, didn't affect the attitude of the car, and Diego gets blinded.
Yeah, let's see here. Nick Novak, good initiation there. Diego Higa already on the back foot, needs to play catch up to get on the door of Nick Novak, who's throwing down an amazing run. You can see there, Higa already falling behind, sitting in the smoke, punches through too early. Now, Nick Novak could have been a little bit deeper through some of those inside clips. They want the front of that car basically just skimming that cone that's sitting there. Those 3 lines help us indicate how close he is to the cone. Diego Higa definitely on the back foot through most of it, but Nick Novak, great first outside zone. Could clean it up a little bit on the clips and yeah, go from there. But wow, talk about starting off with a bang, Nick Novak.
Yeah, wow, that was absolutely aggressive. Like I said, leaving nothing to the imagination. Like, did he hit it? Yeah, he hit the ball, but it didn't affect the attitude of the car. You saw him stay in it, and that kind of crumple zone, bash bar took it all.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about drifting, it's one of the only sports where you get a bonus for hitting the wall.
But don't affect the attitude of the car. The car didn't get disrupted. You didn't see it come out. And this is where the wind is welcome. This is a big smoke bowl right now. The wind, it's mild, but it could be a little stronger. Here we go. Diego Higa out front. JDM Supreme, 86 FRS BRZ. And look at Novak. Diego Higa, great angle. He gets involved with the wall coming down. That Street Hunter's body can hang out the back. Novak, wow, good transition. The killer crossover by Novak into that second outside zone. Novak is not backing down. It's not back. Wow, unreal chase run by Nick Novak. Great lead run by Diego Higa, but watch this again. The crossover was insane, yeah.
I got goosebumps. That was insane. Nick Novak, so aggressive. I mean, absolutely just on the door of Diego Higa, who's putting down a heater of a lead run as well. And look at Nick Novak absolutely timing it perfectly, blinded by the smoke for a full second. Higa could have been a little bit deeper on that second inside clip. But here, Nick Novak mirroring the line, mirroring the angle, mirroring the depth, and then pushes in at the last moment just for the exclamation point on the end. Wow, absolute masterclass there from Nick Novak. Now, Higa out front does a good job scraping the rear bumper. You can see it there through it, adding angle at the end of that first outside zone. As he comes through, does a great job through that first inside clip, second inside clip, a little bit further back, and then starts to push just a touch wide. The judges are looking to have both wheels inside those 2 white lines, and right now, you can see how far back he's pushing. So, has a little bit of room to improve there, but Nick Novak absolutely crushing things.
Yeah, what a run there by Nick Novak. And let's make it official. Nick Novak gets the win. Nick Shanahan, that could definitely surprise you. Here we go, that John Cam's Corvette. Woo! Shanahan initiates into the side of Taylor Hull. Shanahan risking it in that BMW. Now coming down off the bank through the power rally into that second inside clip. We're talking about this execution. I think that's going to be a real point of focus for us, the judges, and the fans. Taylor Hull pulls on through, full pull Hull. Shanahan was kind of pushing Hull around this track. Again, not having gone against each other, you know, how much has Hull researched Shanahan? And Hull has admittedly said, I watched some tapes.
Yeah, what it feels like right now is the only person who could take Connor Shanahan out is Connor Shanahan. And the amount of aggressiveness that he's got going on right now may be the thing that does it. That dive was incredible. Taylor Hull does get back on the power, not super deep to that zone. Now Connor Shanahan has to start to make some changes and some corrections because of that. Through the transition, we did see a good job from the lead there in the first inside clip. Second inside clip from Hull could have been a bit deeper. And this is where Shanahan I would have liked to have seen come in a little bit deeper. Hull through that zone looked good and then starts to push out of the zone a little bit more. So let's take a look here. A little bit herky-jerky there from Taylor Hull out front. Shanahan overly aggressive. You have to be careful.
Yep.
Good inside clip there. Second inside clip from Hull. Would have liked to have seen him more on it. And this is the part here. Gets into that zone a little bit late, pushes in a little bit deep, and then starts to come out again. We need to be a C, not a triangle.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way to think about it. So.
Right, don't cut the corner there. All right, so taking a look looks like track is clear, and you can see just the smoke lingering, so that impedes on vision. And what's coincidental is those lights kind of, you know, how would you say, kind of emulsify and make it a little more dense.
You can see from here, like just that perspective.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to see where you even have to enter at this point, but at the end of the day, both drivers are seeing the same thing, so fair is fair.
Yep. All right, looks like we are getting ready to send. Shanahan will be out front now, the garagistic BMW Red Bull. Shanahan told me last night, the DM says, get used to the left-hand drive, but I feel like, obviously, proof positive that he is getting used to it. Here we go, Shanahan out front, Taylor Hall in the chase position. Connor initiates into the bank, high on the bank. Taylor Hall massages his way up there. Now he works the side of Shanahan. Now coming down the bank into the power alley. Taylor Hall looks like he finds a sweet spot as well. He drops into formation, tucks in to the pocket. Taylor Hall, look at that proximity, the mimicking of the angle. Taylor Hall, I think the car is running well. That Comp Cams, Edelbrock, Corvettes. What a run by full pull Taylor Hall.
Wow, Taylor Hall, I mean, this is it. He is back, baby. Now, Connor Shanahan out front does a good job. We see a lot of left foot braking and a bit of a slowdown there through the first outside zone. Taylor Hall takes advantage of that and gets on his door. Transition looks good. Connor could have been deeper in outside zone 2, or sorry, inside clip 2, but outside zone 2, absolutely phenomenal from Connor Shanahan, and that allows Taylor Hall to line the car up, basically mirroring that angle and that line perfectly through that section. So, what a man.
What a way to start. And here again, perspective. One more times are allowed in 16, and Shanahan gets 1, 2, and 3 votes. Connor Shanahan gets the victory. Dylan Hughes will give chase here in a Royal Purple Top 16. Odi Bakshis into the bank. Good initiation by Odi Bakshis. Both them high on the bank. Look at Dylan Hughes surge. Odi drops down. Good fluid exit of the bank. Dylan Hughes. Man, Laurent Nickel talked about how do you do it. He says, I don't know, just guessing. But right now, that's a good guess. Has to drop back quite a bit there. Past that second inside clip. Odi Bakshis maintains drift. Comes out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a touch. That
was worrisome.
Yeah, exactly. Just given all his engine issues.
All right, take a look here at Odi Bakshis out in the lead. Good initiation, gets into the wall right away. Could have been a little bit deeper at the beginning, but able to fill it out through the rest of it. Comes off the bank here, still on throttle. And Dylan kind of mistimes that transition. Super tough. And then after that, he's basically stuck in the smoke behind Odi Bakshis. Able to push things out. And this is the part we talked about. You can see a left foot brake there at the end, but Odi does slow down noticeably. And we're already seeing the track staff over there. So we'll flip through that cut in a second. But Dylan Hughes there, you can see the hesitation. Dylan wanted to transition. His car was ready to transition, but Odi was still holding on to it, which is totally in Odi's right out in the lead. And then after that, it becomes difficult. But like I said, kind of concerned.
And look at, Odi's shut down. Oh no, man, the hits just keep coming.
Okay, he's moving under its own power, which is a good sign. So, yeah, I'm guessing he's going to take his 5-minute timeout.
Timeout. He hasn't taken one, given all the scenarios. All right, so.
Yeah, that's worrisome, but he's got an amazing team over there, and if there's any group that's going to get this sorted, it's going to be the fuel suspension group.
Absolutely. So Dylan Hughes is waiting, but I think he's just going to get word. He's going to head to the pits as Dylan Hughes exits. Odi Bakshis will find out. Maybe Lorette will have some insight on what's going on there. And unfortunately, Odi shuts her down, and we're going to shut her down for a moment, but don't go anywhere. The plot thickens here in Orlando. Don't go anywhere. Round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship continues. Literal's been on one lately. Let's see if he can continue on. As Brandon Sorensen gets to the wall, and he is right there. Ryan Literal, kind of on the nose of it, needs to come down. Now Brandon Sorensen past that second inside clip and into that second outside zone. Literal supplying the pressure, and now into that second sweeping turn. So some good driving there by both the drivers. Literal seems like he's found that secret sauce.
Yeah, so Brandon Sorensen's initiation was the first thing that I noticed. So really good into the wall there, and you can see he makes that correction and starts to come back off it. Now, Literal should have been much deeper into that zone. He does start to make some corrections here to get into the correct place without making it super obvious. Right there being one of them. Brandon Sorensen now on the left foot brake. That's where you see the smoke coming from the front tire, and he's doing that to keep the car from pushing too far forward. So it's a technique a lot of drivers use, and Sorensen using it a lot here. You can see the smoke coming from the front right. Well, in the chase, Ryan Literal is just trying to figure out what's going on with it, and it does look like Brandon out front is making a lot of corrections. Now, that being said, good tap there. Sorensen stays into it, and yeah, I mean, that's what we want to see, right? You get the head, keep going.
Yeah, it looked like he got him twice. Like Literal hit his back left corner and then hit his door. Like you said, some corrections here and there. Just tighten it up. Don't leave it in the judge's hands.
Yeah, Literal's going to need a very smooth run to this place.
Here we go, Literal out front. It seemed like maybe he's got that clean air. He throws it high and tight like a fastball pitch. Brandon Sorensen, he's giving it back to him. Literal works his way up top, hangs it on the wall. Sorensen now pushing Literal around the track. As Literal, both these guys taking out the inside clips. Literal gets into the crease. Brandon Sorensen, oh, we got a tire fire. We got a back left tire fire. Ryan Literal brings it around.
That's a good one.
All right, pull it off track. Pull it off track. Ryan Literal.
He's out. He's out.
All right, so what an exciting, make some noise for Ryan Literal and Brandon Sorensen. A tire fire on that back left corner.
He is pumped.
Wow, Literal just
look it.
Checkers or wreckers. Woo!
It's scorched, yeah.
Glad he's okay. Got out of the car. The Sunoco, again, nothing to do with the fuel there, just the title sponsor, but we saw this earlier with Ryan Turk, and the tire particulates accumulate, the tire heat, all the tire debris that packs in there, and then it just combusts, just the tire temps and all that.
Yeah, it's these tires get so hot, and then when they start piling up in that back quarter panel, yeah, all it takes is one little spark, and those gases ignite, and that's what's going on. But all right, let's take a look here, because our first view is really, really smoky, but Ryan Literal, I love the initiation. Already on the left foot brake there. Is not as deep, but Brandon Sorensen doing a great job at mirroring everything and being right on him. Big left foot brake there, and then slingshots out. And Sorensen able to answer in most of the ways, but does get a bit of a gap hold on him. And right there, that tire lights up, and Sorensen just tries to put it out with contact. And then we can see there at that point, Ryan Literal knows there's a problem, shuts the car down, fire response is in there right away. So, looks like the judges are already calling for a side-by-side. They want to see what this is like, because there are some mistakes from both drivers in the lead. The chases were pretty solid, but there were some gaps here and there. It will come down to basically who had the best lead run at this point. Wow.
Yeah, definitely making the highlight reel, man. This year, we've seen just a lot of Enfuego.
Look at our track staff. Ryan Literal wasn't even stopped yet before. Is that Sopa?
Yeah.
Sopa's down there ready to go. Our main man on the line.
Yeah. Our FD staff was there before our track staff was. And glad they got it extinguished. All right.
You got everybody there pushing
and Ryan hyping it up, man. Like, again, like, if you're going to make the highlight reel in some way, one way or the other.
Yeah, it's definitely a clip-worthy moment, as the kids say.
Yep. It's going viral, baby.
It might be. That's a lot of adrenaline there, but wow.
All right, we're going to go to a BC Racing side-by-side for the judges. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. You said, basically, you're thinking, Jacob, that it's coming down to the lead run.
Yeah, so what I'm looking for is what kind of mistakes and how big the mistakes are. So things like inner clips, both of them had a good first inner clip. Second inner clip, both pretty much the same. So now it's going to come to this outside zone. and which driver was able to do it. But man, they're both super close. So because both lead runs were pretty par, then we start to switch back to the chase runs, who had more proximity, who did it better. When we start to look at that, you start to think about, okay, I mean, Ryan Little was really close, but he was hitting.
Yeah.
And that's not really what we're looking for. But Brandon Sorensen, when he was in the chase, did get gapped a few times. So there's a lot of things that we need to balance out, but it sounds like the judges do have a decision, and we're going to get it here in just a moment.
All right, slide him left for Sorensen, right for Ryan Little. Brandon Sorensen gets 1 vote, 2 votes, and Brandon Sorensen gets the win. Brandon Sorensen gets the win. What a barn burn battle. Dylan the Dozer Hughes, Royal Purple BMW. We are in the Royal Purple top 16. And now coming through the start chicane, Dylan Hughes. Let's see how he is out front. Gets up high on the bank. Good mimicking of the angle by Odie Bakshis. Coming back down into the power alley past that inside clip. Looks like Odie, he's buried in the smoke, but doesn't phase him too much. Dylan Hughes in the crease. Good angle by Dylan. Exceeds it just a little bit, but now comes across. Good straightforward run from Dylan Hughes out front.
Yeah, so as a quick reminder, Dylan does have a bit of a disadvantage just because of how he transitioned from inner clip 1 to inner clip 2. So we do need to keep that in mind, that he is kind of fighting for the win here and a little bit on the back foot. But good initiation there from Dylan Hughes. Now you see Odie Bakshis just diving in, trying to mirror the line and angle, but fighting more for proximity. And look how long Dylan holds on to that past that inside clip. Great transition from both drivers, and Dylan able to lock in here, as you said, in the crease where the essentially the banking meets the flat section. The zone actually comes out about a foot from that. So when a driver's in that spot, it's actually a little deeper than what the judges are looking for. So
kind of like hitting the rumble strip in Atlanta.
yeah, like you can use it, but at your own peril. And we've seen drivers utilize it in a couple of interesting ways. So Dylan, really good job from the lead with that inside clip 1 and 2. And now he gets into that zone, and this is what we're talking about. You can see that line to the right is kind of midway through the car, which is not what we want. We want both tires in that area with as much angle as you can put into the car.
All right, looks like we are going to take a look at run one, not the side-by-side. And we will see. It seemed that Dylan was just really tidy on that run. I liked where he put the car, so trying to set up that side-by-side. And here is our BC Racing Go for Gold side-by-side. So let's take a look. Run 1 is on the left. Let's see Odie initiate. Jacob, walk us through it.
Yeah, so what they're looking for is where are the mistakes made. Did Odie make any mistakes? Because obviously in the chase, Dylan had that issue right there. Was there anything that was comparable either in the lead or the chase that would overthrow that? So there is obviously where Odie loses some power near the end of the run. But you do see that there was a large compromise that was made by Dylan Hughes in the chase. So you kind of have to balance all that out. It was a pretty big mistake by Dylan Hughes, but Odie had a few areas for improvement as well in both the lead and in the chase.
Absolutely. So let's take a look. And still the judges just off to our left conversing. The quintessential signature.
Yeah, the side-by-side hands,
the drifting hands.
That's the hard part. Like, if we ever got the draw on tablet, I would just need hands. That's
right.
it. Like, show me with the hands.
Yeah,
I don't need
left
to draw
hand,
and
right
stuff.
hand.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to show it like. That's what we need. We need a top-down camera of just our hands, so we can just mimic it that way.
Right.
And you can tell it's a hard decision. Judges still more or less going back and forth, going through notes. Yeah, just trying to figure out exactly how they're going to go on this call. Mr. Matt Sopa there standing in between the cars.
All right, awaiting the verdict here. Our two vehicles are on the line, and it's actually Odie Bakshis' teammate, Simon Olsen. And here we go. Slide him left for Odie, slide him right for Dylan. One more time. And Odie Bakshis, and one more time, they're going to and will lead. This fuel suspension GT Radar looks very similar to Odie's vehicle, just neon yellow versus the orange. Simon Olsen initiates high onto the bank. Great proximity from Manoa. You can see him lurching closer. And then Olsen, good transition by him. Manoa drops into formation, into the pocket, and just right there as Manoa bangs on the door, stays in it. Wow. Dude, 14 years old, what were you doing? Definitely not this.
He was bullying Simon Olsen.
Respect your elders, Manoa.
I know, not much of an elder. He's like, what, not that many years older, but Simon Olsen, I mean, initiation now. Manoa far down on the bank, should have been way deeper up, and right here, Manoa starting to push Simon Olsen, maybe trying to throw him off his game a little bit. Olsen out front could have been a little bit deeper, does descend in that area. He is allowed to in that area, and now he locks into the second outside zone. You can see one wheel starting to push a bit wide, whereas Manoa, really, bullying is the only way I can put it. He's very aggressive, he's surging in, surging out. It's just a very aggressive tactic from a very quiet human being.
Just pushing him around the track, and Simon didn't flinch.
No,
Simon did not flinch.
He was probably, if he could, he'd be smacking his door like, oh, one more.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, bring it. All right. All right, so looks like there is contact, so this is a courtesy car assessment. No competition timeouts will be held, but both vehicles, again, contact without an incomplete. We saw this earlier, so they are both able to look at their vehicles, inspect them without repercussions, given the contact. Again, contact without an incomplete, not utilizing their competition timeout. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, the action continues. As you can see, it's hot and heavy, banging doors, rubbing tires, burning time. Thanks for joining us here. Round 3 of the Formula Jet Pro Championship. It's just heating up here at Orlando Speed World. Start chicane. See that telemetry. Good start there. Chris Forsberg initiates into the bank. Adam LZ lunges to the side. He has to back off. Forsberg consistent with the angle. Adam now jumps back to the side of the LZ. We saw Adam drop back. He drops back once again. Let's see if he can gain that and get in that smoke pocket. Chris Forsberg goes up on the bank. No, no, he didn't. Oh, and then Adam LZ dives in. Not mimicking the angle exactly, getting in that pocket. You saw him get the proximity. But you talked about that earlier, Jacob, about like compromising. You'd rather see mimic the angle as opposed to diving in. We saw that a lot with the Daigo Saito era, right? The Daigo dive kind of.
Yeah, the Daigo dive. That's a good way of putting it. So Chris Forsberg, initiation could have been a little bit higher on the bank, and Adam getting very, very aggressive in the chase, which does cause him to have to reel things back. And then we see an addition of angle there from Adam, just driving incredibly aggressive, getting lost into the smoke a little bit, but Chris does go a bit wide there before going through, and now we see Adam trying to push even harder. Does get a decent job at being parallel with Chris, but that
angle definitely showcased Adam LZ and him mimicking the angle here.
Just so aggressive. I mean, Chris is very smooth out front. We do see some left foot braking here or there, but yeah, that's the big mistake there that we're going to have to watch for. Chris Forsberg just pushing a little bit wide coming out of inside clip 2. And then Adam LZ just being, I would say, almost overly aggressive in the chase.
Yeah, and Chris, Chris exceeding that line, that allowed Adam LZ to kind of get into that pocket. It allowed him to catch up and get there. So it's going to come down to the second run, obviously. So Adam LZ will lead. Forsberg giving chase. Smoke just looming like a horror film.
Adds to the ambiance.
Here we go. All right, here we go. The Drift HQ BMW E36 LZ. Adam out front. Forsberg in the chase position. Adam initiates. Chris Forsberg tucks in. Good mimicking of the angle. Obviously, could be a little bit closer, but now coming down through the smoke trail. Forsberg loses it. Goes in on the inside. Forsberg shoots in on the inside, buried in that smoke. And Adam LZ, he finishes out. It's going to be Adam LZ unofficially, but a mistake was not made that large by Adam LZ in that chase position.
Yeah, so the only thing I want to watch for now is there anything that Adam had done that may have thrown Chris off? Chris not super deep to that first outside zone. Adam doing a good job, could have been a little bit deeper. Coming through this section here, smooth transition, but yeah, Chris just dives in way too early. I mean, we're seeing this more and more It just comes down to a timing thing. You know, Dylan Hughes talked about it. They basically have to drive by memory, feel, and braille at this point. Like, that's it. They're trying to feel out where the track is, and they have to time in the driver transitions. Adam transitions nice, like fluid and slow, and Chris thought he was going to go faster and made the wrong call.
Yeah, that's a big unfortunate turn of events for Chris Forsberg, but Adam LZ gets that Mustang RTR Spec 550 through that start chicane. He swings in front of Little Golden Nugget. Oh, Ryan Turk initiates, and a bit of a failure to launch. James Dean, we'll see if he impeded on Ryan Turk. It didn't seem that way at first glance, and now cutting through the smoke. Past that second inside clip, James Dean continues on. Again, our current points leader by only 2 points of Simon Olsen. Now in that left sweeper, let's take a look at that initiation. Ryan Turk, you saw a delay there at first glance. Didn't seem that James got in his way.
Yeah, I mean, James has got the right of way, so really it's going to be Turk who's able to. But yeah, Turk just does not get into initiation soon enough, and you can see the difference in size there between the cars. James did a good job through the first inside clip. Second inside clip, pretty much textbook. Does push a little bit wide in the beginning, and now we get that left foot brake. And Ryan Turk now finally able to kind of get into the pocket, but too little too late at that point in time. So it really came down to that first initiation from Ryan Turk. It kind of happened slow and a little bit later, but yeah, a really, really strange one from Ryan Turk. This is not indicative of how he normally drives. That being said, pretty indicative of how James Dean drives, which is almost perfect.
All right, update from Dylan Hughes and Manoa. Both of them are in competition timeout, so burning their competition timeout. Look at how the plot thickens. You pull off and you start finding these things, or you questioning, or, you know.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
That is pretty wild. I mean, this is the hard part. These cars are so fast that the smallest bit of contact can do so much damage, but they are figuring it out, and they are making it happen. And you know, that's the reason why they have teams and they have mechanics and crew chiefs and everything else. So it's really repairing the cars is as much the competition as it is driving.
All right, here we go. So taking a look at Ryan Turk. Ryan Turk out front, James Dean in the chase. Let's see what Ryan Turk with the clean air, or at least just a little bit smoky, on into the bank. James Dean on the door of the GR Corolla. He's on that other side. Now keep in mind, he's on that right-hand drive Ford Mustang. Taking out, look at that, pulling up that three-wheeler peeler. James Dean backs off. Looks like, again, that six-cylinder Toyota hot hatchback. Switching over from the fourth now to the sixth. Good job by Ryan Turk and James Dean.
Yeah, James looked like the second half of the second outside zone. Yeah, not ideal. Interesting. Really, really interesting. So let's take a look here again. Ryan Turk, very fluid initiation, but does not get out to the wall right away. James Dean actually deeper in the first outside zone than Turk is. Now as they come through this transition, James does a good job of holding on and predicting when Turk's going to come around. Both of them do a good job through the inside clips. And then right here, Ryan Turk is doing a great job through that, but James Dean looks like he's struggling a little bit. Still seeing a fair bit of smoke coming out of the rear end, so it's not like he's super down on power, but there is the possibility that something's going on. These RTRs are basically naturally aspirated, and then just, I think it's like a 400 shot of nitrous going at them. So their main power adder is going to be nitrous oxide, and if there is a problem with that, it cuts his power to almost half. Now, we've seen the RTRs drive almost without any nitrous before, and you can do it. It's just not easy at all.
All right. Taking a look, waiting for the results. And we talked about Manoa and Hughes calling their comp timeouts. Remember, Hughes and Bakshish blew his pipe, this, that, and the other thing. And again, we had a courtesy contact of Manoa and Olsen, but Manoa couldn't pull up, so he called his comp timeout. Slide him left for Dean, or right for Ryan Turk, and James Dean gets the win unanimously. James Dean gets the, so this is the second half of this battle.
Yes, sir.
The second half, so keep that in mind. We're definitely have to revisit. Seems like ages ago we saw Simon Olsen out front, but Manoa, he initiates. Simon Olsen, he is in tow. Manoa, high on the bank, hangs it all the way out there to hit that outside zone. Course indicator, Simon Olsen dives in. Major correction there. A big straightening there. Approaching that second inside clip. He did something like Forsberg did a little bit ago, but straightens out, and Manoa pulls off to the right. Oh, that's a big shock to the system. We're going to have to rewatch the first run, but what a blow there for Olsen.
Yeah, Hiro Manoa with a big swing initiation. Now Olsen not as deep as he should be. Big left foot brake from both drivers. He starts to push in. And now we see Manoa really holding on. And then same thing, Olsen diving through the smoke a bit early, straightening the car out. Might have been longer than one, may not have been. I'm not here to tell you. But now we see from there on, Manoa able to push through the rest of the zone. Olsen able to mirror the line of the angle through the rest of it, just several car lengths behind. So see if there's anything wonky here before we pass too much of a judgment from the announcer's booth and then pass it over to the judges to make all theirs. But yeah, right there, it's pretty interesting. Same thing, I think Simon's just getting lost at that transition. We did talk to the judges about this previously on the Odie run about how drivers are going through that first inside clip, but.
Yeah, and look at this. They're not even going to take a look at the tail of the tape on that first run. The judges were counting it already, so slide him left for Olsen. Second in points is Olsen, 14 years old. Manoa gets the win from Japan. Manoa advances. Orla exhaust, heat rate visuals, lean customs, Corvette is leading. The Beast in the Bay, big Grand Canyon gap, but Beecham reeling him in. Look at that, he went deep sea fishing for a beast. We'll see if he ends up with a whopper. Oh, and there it is once again. Woo! Almost T-boned him. T-bone steak, cheese, egg, and Welch's grape. Look at that. Wow. That got sketchy for a moment. Beecham almost got into the back of the Corvette. Matt Field out front.
Yeah, Matt Field just launches it off the line, does a great job there, and Trent Beecham doing everything he can just to keep up at this point. I do like how Beecham was able to push the car into the pocket from there. That's not an easy thing to do, and he made it look effortless, just not when you want to be doing it, and there's that transition again. Looks like Beecham did push wide. I mean, from our angle initially, it looked like he was about to go into the side of that Corvette, but able to keep things dialed in. Now Trenton Beecham's got a monumental task on his hands. That being said, Matt Field, time to time, could be his own worst enemy. He's got to keep himself calm. He's got to take a couple of big, deep breaths because he still has to chase Beecham through the rest of this run. And if there is a massive problem, it could result in a one more time. And then, you know, from there, it's anybody's guess what happens. So Matt Field's got to stay calm. Trenton Beecham has got to drive like he's never driven before.
Yeah, he knows who's in his rearview mirror, but like you said, Fields got to stay calm and reserve. I mean, the trend right now is that chase position. You are driving blind. Jesus, take the wheel.
Basically, yeah.
Wrong wheel.
Yeah, wrong wheel, wrong lever.
Yep, here we go. So Beecham out front. Matt Field in chase position. You see the lights on. Once they extinguish, send it. Beecham and Field. Ooh, look at that. Tip the tail. Field flirting with that BMW. Dives in. Beecham turns on the smoke machine, the second half of that bank. Now coming back down, Matt Field, big angle from him. He dives in, and you saw that. You saw that quick little reservation of where is he at. He checks the temp, and then he gets back up there. And Beecham, massive angle. But I got to tell you, a great job by Matt Field. Like I said, going inside clip one, cross that power alley, the smoke alley,
yeah,
as we can call it, man.
Yeah, I really liked what Beecham was able to do out in the lead there. He throws a bunch more angle right here to get the car a bit deeper in the zone. And Matt Field doing a good job. Beecham should have been much smoother through there. And there's the hesitation we talked about. Matt Field keeping cool, calm, and collective and able to put the car in the right spot. Goes a little bit far back, gets into the smoke again, pushes the car forward to stay out of it. Beecham doing a good job through the inner clips. Yeah, it could have been a little closer. I thought I saw another tire spark up there for a second, but
on the bank, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I'm getting real aware of it now at this point. But yeah, Beecham, I mean, it's looking better. He's putting things together. I talked about it last year in Utah that he's really progressing in the Pro Series now. Yep. And it's going to be these small mistakes that are going to take him out. But that consistency that he's building with runs like this, show me that Beecham deserves to be here. He's getting the car dialed in. It's just going to be not taking himself out. That's what's going to get him through.
All right, so let's see. Slide him left for Field, right for Beecham, and there it is. Matt Field, the Beast of the Bay, gets the win. Tires BMW against Connor Shanahan, Red Bull Garage Istic, BMW! Woo! Right there. Man, oh, Shanahan. Look at him diving in, Novak. He's acting, he's like, nobody's there, nobody's there. Giving him the side eye. And look at Shanahan in the pocket that's not affected by the smoke. He's diving in, he's rubbing his door, pushing him around. Shanahan and Novak banging doors. Woo! Oh, doctor.
Wow.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, Nick Novak out in the lead. I mean, crushing it, but Connor Shanahan, like the Great Dane behind the Chihuahua, all intimidation this entire lap. Wow, I cannot imagine what this is like for either driver. Nick Novak could have been a little bit deeper there through the second outside zone, while Connor Shanahan just, look at that. It's like he was trying to hand him something out the window.
Yeah, that was
wow.
Passing the baton. Like I said, it's going to get dirty. It's going to get nuts. EpiPens,
yeah,
like Pulp Fiction, man. Just like, take one deep breath.
I'm alive.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
All right, so Shanahan now out front. Novak, I mean, his spotter is in his head just saying, you gotta push it, man.
Everything we got.
But we saw him on that top 16 run. Nick not back. He was not backing down.
No.
I mean, he was absolutely. Who was that against? Novak was going against that of Diego Higa.
Yeah.
And he was pushing Higa around the track.
Yeah.
You know, and again, Hull and Shanahan earlier, I thought I was leaning towards Hull, but the guys pointed out to me basically Hull had kind of a lesser lead run, so that allowed Shanahan to really knock that kind of meatball out of the park. You use a Brian.
Yeah, like pitching. It's like throwing a lob ball. It's really easy to hit a home run with the lob ball, but hitting a home run off a screwball, that's a whole other story.
Yep.
So
that's
wow.
Eggert gave us that analogy earlier, and that spoke to me. That made sense. So here we go. Shanahan out front, Novak in the chase position, and there we go. That chase car can leave the line. Novak knows what he needs to do, and Shanahan, he's going to act like Novak's not even there. Little separation, but I say that by comparison to our previous battle, and Novak shows up. Now coming into that smoke valley through the killer crossover into that second inside clip, and now coming through into that final outside zone. Shanahan want to make a look and take a look at the line Shanahan led. Want to make sure he didn't cut any corners in order to pull away from Novak, but a great effort by both.
Yeah, Connor Shanahan seems like he's always able to find another 5% every single run, and you can see it here. Nick Novak does a good job in the chase. He mirrors it. He gets as deep through that zone. Now Connor Shanahan could have been slightly deeper there through that second inside clip, but Nick Novak washes out a little bit wide, comes in a little bit narrow, while we see Connor Shanahan. I mean, the only critique I have is I just want to see the battle again. That's it. But I think the judges have a decision, and we're going to know here in just a minute. But wow.
Yeah, they're coming in quick. Connor Shanahan gets the win. Green, yellow, and obviously red is D-cell. So Brandon Sorensen's lights aren't working, but we will not hold it back as Odie Bakshies initiates Brandon Sorensen. Now look at that. He's pushing Odie Bakshies around the track. Look at this killer crossover. It could bite you or it could favor you, and it favors Brandon Sorensen. Great execution, allows Odie Bakshies to cross over in front of him, and then drives back into the smoke pocket. Great job there by Brandon. Great lead run by Odie.
Yeah.
Brandon, it was like he's crawling up and then, boom, stuck to him like Velcro.
Yeah, let's see here. Odie gets a good launch. Now, Brandon, they initiate at the same time in the same place. And what that means now is Brandon is able to tuck the car back in a little bit deeper. And then through this section, you see Odie add a little bit of angle through there. They pass to the second inside clip. And now we get into the outside zone where Odie is just in a perfect spot, and Brandon just provides just a little bit of a tap. Brandon could have had a bit more angle to match things a bit better, but we are at the point of splitting hairs. We are in the grade 8. This is where you have to be absolutely perfect. So all of these small details are what the judges are going to be looking at. Brandon not having a full match of angle there, and now as we come through those inside clips, this is what I'm talking about. Brandon is taking a little bit of angle out of the car, does get a little bit further back to that zone, whereas Odie pretty much perfect to the second outside zone.
Wow.
Masterclass.
Yeah, and we're over here discussing, Chris Yule, Race Ops, and Ryan Sage. This is a reverse of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So how soon we forget, that was just, a couple weeks ago, and this is what transpired in Atlanta. Sorensen, Odie Bakshis, and now Brandon Sorensen out front. Odie Bakshis in the chase position. And again, talking about those decel, Excel lights, and waiting to see, are we waiting for smoke to clear? It definitely is lingering. Get that angle down the chute, and you can see going, initiating into the bank. Look at that. I mean, that's camera, that's all the way across course, that shot. The camera's in the traditional racetrack bird's nest, but you could see just hanging out, looking like Wiz Khalifa is hanging out on the start line. So looks like we are good to go. Brandon Sorensen, Odie Bakshis. Who's going to the 4? Who's going against Connor Shanahan? Sorensen initiates. Odie Bakshis chasing him down. Sorensen, big angle from him. Now coming down the bank into the crossover. Odie Bakshis looks like he transitions. He drops into formation. Odie Bakshis possessed right there. Gives it right back to a banging door. And look at that. Something to prove. Odie Bakshis.
Wow, that might have been the closest transition I've ever seen. That was incredible. Enough to pull the bumper off the back of Brandon Sorensen, but not disrupt him. Brandon Sorensen in the lead, looking really good out front. Odie could have been a little bit deeper through there. Now Brandon does miss that inside clip, but yeah, wow. Those transitions, Odie Bakshis. Now we come to the second outside zone, and now we see Odie pushing Brandon a little bit deeper throughout the zone. Jared, this is...
He like bent his fenders. I mean, he was just, he was riding shotgun with them, dude.
Yeah, it's really, like, that transition is so expert. Now, what I did notice right here, we see Brandon almost missing that inside clip. He is a little bit further out, but Odie, I want to watch that transition over and over. It might be my next screensaver, man. That was incredible.
Yeah, what is he shredding off of the side of his car?
I think it's just all the body parts.
Yeah.
I think Odie was just on it. He was pulling bumpers off and getting caught under the car and exploding. And just, I mean, you get to take some home. It's like going to a, SeaWorld where
all right, here we
in the splash zone.
Right. All right, here's the side-by-side. So Odie leading on the left, Brandon leading on the right, initiating almost identical to this point.
Yeah, so we're looking at the leads here primarily to understand who is deeper. So it looked like Odie might have been a bit deeper through that inside clip, but Brandon was deeper through the second inside clip. And now side by side, who can fill that zone better? Brandon was a little bit deeper.
I mean, it's real close.
That's splitting a hair. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, need laser beams. This is impressive. The Type S lights are on. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Let's take a look. Are we going to slide them left or right? Are we going one more time? One more time? One more time. They're going at it again, and it is unanimous. All right, here we go. Haroya Manoa against Adam LZ. Haroya Manoa, 14 years old versus LZ. Manoa out front, then Juka Racing, Jerry Yang Racing, 86 initiates. Adam LZ into formation. And we just saw two crazy chase runs. Now Manoa out front into the Smoke Valley. Adam LZ initiates too early, wrong side, and there it is. That's gonna hurt Adam LZ, but Manoa tearing it up from the floor up. Toe up from the flow up. So, let's see, let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, Manoa going really wide here, and it almost puts Adam off course. Just Adam has to stay out of the way of Manoa. And then as we come through here, you can see Adam starting to dive in, then get the car corrected, making a couple of lunges. Manoa nice and deep for that first outside zone, and a late transition, which he's allowed to do. But that definitely throws Adam LZ off. Now, coming through the second outside zone, Manoa looking a little bit slower than some of the other drivers. We know he can pick up a gear, get some extra speeds. There's the spot I was talking about right there, where Adam had to actually stay back a little bit because Manoa's throwing real wide. So we get in nice and intimately there with our drone. And there it is, Adam transitioning too soon, punching through the smoke too early, and Manoa is in a different area code at that point in time. But Adam does find his way across, just a little too late.
All right, Manoa, major advantage here. Let's see if he can toughen it out, right? I mean, Adam got a major mistake there. That is gonna hurt him, but again, expect big things here from Adam LZ. He's in the lead run. He knows he was on the wrong side of that second inside clip. So expect Adam LZ, again, internet superstar. It looks like jump the light.
Got the strobes going.
A cone down. All right, just making sure they'll run it back. Adam LZ pulled back to the start line. Yeah, jump in the light. No cone hit.
Let's get a little nervous. Getting the bugs out.
Right, absolutely.
Now there is a 3 strikes and you're out rule here. Not that I think it's only ever happened once, but
twice.
Twice.
I think it was the same person. Not naming names.
Rip, womp womp.
Womp womp. Doop doop doo doo. Adam LZ, Drift HQ, BMW E36, Manoa and Juku Racing, celebrating 20 years. Happy anniversary to Juku Racing. Knows the 86. LZ, aggressive initiation. Comes out of angle. Oh boy, LZ. A big straightening there. What if he got slick there? That looked sketchy for a moment. That allows Manoa to not get buried in the smoke. LZ now turns it up into the crease. Almost comes out of drift, but does not affect Manoa.
Got us on another flare up there for a moment.
Little tire fender fire.
Little something, little spice on top. Yeah, Adam's going very aggressive here, but seeing some of the way the car was reacting, I'm curious if everything's okay internally with it, because it does look like he's fighting really hard right here. Looks like he's, maybe a couple of clutch kicks to get the car back around. Something seems to be going on. Either that or he's got so much grip dialed in at this point, just trying to fight back to Hiro Manoa, who's doing a good job in the chase. Adam having those big disruptions. Hiro's gonna know that, gonna play it a little bit safer in there. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I see just the smoke go, even the slightest shade of orange, I clench up a little bit. But yeah, Adam really fighting it through this section. Probably a couple clutch kicks. Almost looks like he grabs E-brake again. Just fighting the car.
Yeah, that was, I think Manoa did the right things. He's gonna need to step it up because he's going against either James Dean or Matt Field. Welcome to FD, kiddo.
Yeah. Now
there was a tire fire on that back right.
All right, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you're still crazy, but.
Oh, 100%, but not for that reason.
Slide up left for Manoa, right for Adam LZ. I think you know the answer. 14 years old, Hiro Manoa. Cody Bakshis, field suspension, Esther team, tip to tail, simultaneous initiation, big angle from Cody Bakshis. Look at Brandon did this last time. He kind of just dropped in, brought it up. So a little bit later, but then he sticks it to the door. Brandon Sorensen center punches that second and inside clip, diving in, great proximity, banging on his door once, twice, 3 times the lady. Wow.
Yeah, he is getting real aggressive now. This is a big push there from Brandon Sorensen. So let's take a look at Odie out front. More of a straight line approach, but it does get him into the wall quite early. And then you see Brandon sliding the car in there. Big left foot brake to get the car settled once he's into the pocket. Now Odie all throttle all the way through this. And right here we see Brandon center punching that inside clip. Odie doing a good job of filling that second outside zone. And this is where we start to get the knock on the door.
Yeah, he was banging on his door, and Odie did not answer, did not retaliate, stayed in it, pin it to win it.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, you saw the disruption there.
One there, yeah.
They might have checked tires.
There might have been another one there, too. This is crazy. I
think collectively Brandon hit Odie 5 times. Watch, 3 just on this outside zone. Give me a 1. Give me a 2. 3.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Both guys back at the line, ready to go.
This is a duel.
Yeah, that's
This is a duel.
This is a duel.
Yep. This is a serious battle here. Some redemption from Atlanta. We saw these guys, and Odie eventually, it was gnarly. It was a gnarly one in Atlanta. All right, let's go. Let's send them. All right. Yeah, it looked like they touched 4, maybe even 5 times, 3 just in that outer zone.
Yeah, this is some pretty crazy battles, man. I mean, if this is the point we're at where you have to, hit the guy kind of 5 times lightly, gently hit.
Yeah.
More of a love tap.
All right, little TSA pre-check. I'm gonna use the back of my hand.
Yeah.
Use the back of my hand.
Definitely happened a few times.
Nothing's gonna stab me. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Yeah. All right, here we go. The second half of this battle, and nobody was checking contact 4, maybe 5 times, but nobody asked or requested a courtesy car check. but they continue on here. Brandon Sorensen out front, Odie Bakshis. Oh, Odie Bakshis dives in against the wow. How he salvaged that, but it looks like he doesn't salvage it as he goes and loses that front bumper. Odie getting loosey-goosey here.
Yeah, another one. Wow.
Wow,
Jeez.
Sorensen is hungry, thirsty, whatever you want to call it, man.
Yeah, he wants his first event win so bad, and you can see it in his driving. Very fluid on initiation, going in nice and deep. Odie doing a good job through that first outside zone. Now we check into this transition here. You can see full throttle almost all the way through. A bit of a speed check there. And then Odie just looked like he got a little bit too aggressive through that inside clip. I'll have to see it back again because it happened so quickly, but it almost looks like Odie taps the front, then taps rear Brandon Sorensen. But Brandon, I mean, although driving incredibly aggressively, is very smooth, and that's what the judges are looking for. They want you to be aggressive. They want you to be smooth. Throttle all through there, and right here, yeah, Brandon was on the correct line. He was through it, but wow, this is absolutely amazing. And I mean, what's crazy here too is that 3 of our top 4 drivers are very young. Like, this is the new crop of drivers coming in and taking out the old guard.
Sorry to cut you off, but scores are coming in. Slide of left for Odie, right for Brandon Sorensen. Gets the win unanimously. The young man and final battle of our Torque Motorsport Grade 8, James the Machine Dean. And Matt Field, the beast from the Bay. The machine initiates. Ford Mustang RTR. And Matt Field coming down. Into the power rally, into the smoke. Whoa! We got liftoff, kids. Not talking Cape Canaveral here. We're talking Mustangs and Vets, all American, but it's an Irishman and a beast. Yo! Watch this. So it looked like tires.
Dean going there. We took off in the grass. We'll get back to that in a second, but let's take a look here. James Dean loved the initiation. Matt Field holding back, waiting for James to get into angle so he can dive in now. Matt not being as aggressive as I thought he was going to be, and James really holding angle for a while, but Matt Field shallows up through that section, doesn't dive into the pocket. So very, very interesting. And now we see Matt Field near the end of that run really fighting to keep the car under control. So I would not be shocked if we see a competition timeout at that point. But let's take a look at James Dean in the lead to see if there's anything that would have caused it. Comes off the bank, nice. Good job through the inside clip. Good transition. There is a small decel area in there. So James is able to check up a little bit, not a ton. And then Matt Field just kind of fighting the car through the rest of it. So I do think there's going to be some damage done to Matt Field there. Whether or not he's going to want to check it or what's going to happen next, that is up to him. But wow.
Yeah, we are taking a look, the contact there, that front right. For a moment, you could see the GT radial graphic. They can either put the graphic on their tires or mark a spoke on their wheel. And obviously, as you can see, the looks like the splitter, Anderson Composites coming off. And the Forge Star wheels taking a hit, but continuing on. So again, you could see the spokes on James Dean's wheels. So it's basically slowing down. It's an indicator of obviously braking or handbrake pulling.
Yeah, it basically allows you to see when one of the wheels stops spinning.
Yep.
Make it easy.
So
wow.
Matt Field pulling right to the line, even after a little bit of contact, or a lot of contact.
Yeah, I think
like a pretty serious blow.
I think he took an extended U-turn there to kind of check the car out. But hey, I mean, I'll take that over having to wait 5 minutes.
Right, absolutely. All right, our final battle of the Grade 8. Matt Field initiates. Looks like no problem with the cars at all. James Dean gets into formation. Matt Field comes down. A lot of confidence in Matt Field's Corvette. Now past that second inside clip. What's going to happen here? He's in the pocket. He's in the crease. And now Field brings it across, and so does James Dean.
All righty, then.
Wow.
I just request a side-by-side now. Let's just get that prime, because I think we're going to need it. Matt Field, whoa. Initiation right to the wall. James Dean almost looks like he got caught off guard there, and Matt Field filling all that outside zone. Coming through here, could have been slightly deeper through that inside clip. Second inside clip, no deeper than that because he punches it. Now we get into the second outside zone. He's got that right rear wheel right on the edge of the zone. Could have had a bit more angle through there, but also wanted to make sure that he's able to keep some speed on top of James Dean as they push through here. James Dean in the chase. You can see the brake lights come on while he's trying to check the car out, while he's trying to mirror the angle. James Dean is another driver that is known for kind of scrubbing out some angle to keep the proximity, shallowing up just a little bit so he can door it. And you can see a little bit of it going on right there. Man, I have absolutely no idea where this is going to go. And it looks like our judges do, though.
All right, so we got a verdict. Slide him left for James Dean. James Dean gets the win. James the Machine Dean. Right, here we go. And Shanahan, obviously FD rookie, but no rookie of drifting. Here we go. Sorensen across the nose of Shanahan. He dropped in a formation. Look at that, the E36 chasing him down. The Red Bull Garagistic BMW prepped by Roman, his team. Transition now into that second inside clip, wrapping it around the magician Shanahan. Woo! Right there on the door. Sorensen pushing him around. The Irishman shadowing him, the Shadow Shanahan. Wow.
Wow, man. I mean, the way he times it, Sorensen even has an extended float out to initiation. Brandon and Shanahan anticipates the entire thing. It's like he's able to predict everything that Sorensen is going to do. And Brandon's doing a phenomenal job out in the lead. Both those inside clips were great. The second outside zone, look at that, looks awesome. And then, yeah, Shanahan just able to follow him all the way through. It is scary how good Shanahan is in the chase. This is nuts, especially for somebody who is not natively driving a left-hand drive car. You know, everything is backwards and in the wrong place, but somehow he's still able to find his way into the pocket. And look at that. I mean, Brandon Sorensen through that second outside zone just laid his right rear tire on the edge of the zone the entire way through.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so I think Shanahan is going to throw down one heat of a run. He doesn't want to leave it in the judges' hands. You can see just how confident he is in that car. And again, conversing with him on the DMs, he says trying to figure out this left-hand drive. He's used to right-hand drive, but it seems to be working out there, Connor. So here we go. The E36 of the Irish driver, Shanahan. Sorensen chasing him down. Shanahan on the bank. All of Ireland is watching. Oh, and Sorensen giving it back. He's right there. You can smell his tires. Right there. Transition now, the killer crossover. Shanahan around that second inside clip. Sorensen backing down. But Shanahan almost finds the crease. Sorensen bathing in the smoke. Round of applause for two 20-year-old shredders out here on track.
This is absolutely incredible from both drivers. Brandon Shanahan, Connor Shanahan out front. They're so close, they might as well be the same human through this entire run. And look at that, just clipping the inside clip. That transition was so great. So Shanahan could have been a little bit deeper on that second inside clip. And right here, when Brandon tries to surge in, just falls back a little bit. And that's what it's going to come down to, are these small moments, these small mistakes that drivers are making. That's it. That's the only flaws that we can find in these runs. But look at Sorensen mirroring things so well, and then coming through here, we see a very small left foot brake. We do see the decel in that area, which is allowed, but that does seem to throw Brandon Sorensen off just a little bit, while Connor Shanahan able to keep things flowing through that second outside zone.
Yeah, I think this is deserving of a side-by-side, and the judges agree as well. The Shanahans watching on. You know, again, I know Ireland is a rich history in drifting. Let's take a look here. The BC Racing Custom Coilover side-by-side. You can see him tucking in. Again, great job by both the drivers. See Brandon falling back a little bit there. Both of them on the clip. You see that front clip being taken out.
Yeah, it's so tough to pick out the small things. I mean, Brandon does get a little bit deeper through that second outside zone. The inside clips look pretty similar in my mind. When they're up on the outside zone one against the wall, it's pretty tight there too. So we are back down to splitting hairs at this point in time, and we're gonna have to see what the judges think.
Yeah, so you can see analyzing the winner going to the finals. The winner going to the finals. Also, FYI, James Dean is guaranteed at minimum third place. If he loses against Manoa, because he is our current points leader. And here it is. Slide up left for Sorensen, right for Shanahan. And One more time. One more time. They're going at it. James Dean and Manoa. James Dean initiates Manoa down there quite a bit. He dives in. Good proximity. Let's see him mimic that angle. That AutoZone Spec 5 FD transitions through the power alley into that second. Here comes Manoa. Manoa bringing it on into the outside zone. And now Manoa almost tapping the door. Some more tire fires. Keep them cool, boys. Keep them cool. Wow.
Right. Wow. Okay. James Dean out front, right to the wall immediately. Manoa has to take a second to get the car settled in, but does go almost deeper through that first outside zone. Now, James Dean does a good job through that inside clip. Manoa diving in and predicting the timing as James Dean crushes the second inside clip. Now through here, I don't know how Manoa is even breathing at that point in time because he is completely filled with smoke. That is a right-hand drive car, so he is just getting middle tire smoke to the face that entire second outside zone. But wow, absolutely nuts. James Dean edging on perfection throughout this entire run. And Manoa just, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea how he's able to do that.
All right, second half of this battle. Manoa will be out front. James Dean in that chase position. Let's see who's going to explode. Will it be Manoa or James Dean? Like I said, James guaranteed a podium. #1 in standings. That's point standings. And you want to lock in the top 24 for New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey. And if you don't go to the seeding brackets, you want to lock in the top 24. So 24 of this round, you're locked and loaded. You will not see action on Thursday of New Jersey because we got Pro Spec, Pro, so on and so forth.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, seeding bracket day of Thursday. So yeah, action. You got a day off on Friday in Jersey. Here we go. Manoa out front. James Dean chasing him down. Let's see what we got. Manoa, I mean, this is an absolute proximity fest. Manoa, good angle. James Dean not letting the young buck run away. James Dean, let's see how he transitions. He lets him go a little bit, lets him line out, see if he can reel him back in. But Manoa, great angle. James Dean, he's got the proximity. There's that right side tire fire, shuts it down. Manoa shuts down. I mean, everybody is just running their tires to the limit. The 5-grit sandpaper eating them up, getting the heat on the feet.
Yeah, Hiro Manoa, I love the way he transitions into that initiation, able to float the car out. James Dean does a good job of knowing what Manoa's going to do. Shouts out to the spotter there for giving him those notes. As I come through here, I do see there is a break from Manoa coming off the bank. Now, that's not a decel zone, so I'm sure the judge is going to be taking a look at it, but James Dean able to more or less keep an eye on that and get everything settled. Yeah, it's really, really interesting as they come through this. So initiation nice and floaty. James Dean not quite as deep, does scrub out a little bit to get back into the pocket there. And this part right here, you can see the left foot brake of Manoa, which does slow the car down, it seems, a little bit as they float through. And then right here, James Dean does pull out a fair bit of angle to keep the proximity. And then we get our little bit of tire fire there.
Right side tire fire, heat on the feet. Do we have a winner? Are we going one more time? What is going to happen? We are going BC Racing, go for gold, side by side.
All right.
See, Jake.
We need to focus on the leads here. Is there any spot where either of the lead drivers did something they shouldn't have where they can be deducting points? Because chase-wise, things look absolutely incredible. So James Dean does a good job to the inside clips. The crowd is absolutely cheering the top of their lungs for a one more time. And then it comes down to some of the angles there through that last section, but wow, man. How long's our track rental for? Because I think we're going to be going a bit late tonight.
I mean, here we are nearing the end. This is when you want to see the one more time. The pressure mounts. You know, it's a pressure cooker, and that's when you really rise to the occasion. You know, you respect. You know what the other driver. You anticipate what the other driver is going to do. You know they have the caliber of both vehicle, man, machine, the elements. I mean, look at. I mean, those Nittos are burnt to the ground, man.
That's crazy.
Here we go. Do we have a winner, or is it going one more time? Make some noise, New Jersey. Is it James Dean or Manoa, or one more time? One more time! Another one more time. The fans erupting. And it looks like we are going back to the other battle of the one more time. Shanahan and Sorensen. All right, you can see Sorensen coming into view. Shanahan following him down the one side. So we saw them battle once again. Stephanie Dienda, I'll see you soon. Love you. And Darlene Parker, see you as well. And follow along watching at home. Brandon Sorensen warming up his tires. And Shanahan coming into view. A calm composure when he spoke to Lorette.
Yeah, he was pretty relaxed in there. I mean, I think that's very indicative of his performance, too. He's able to separate himself and get into a good headspace, because if you let the adrenaline take over right now, it's going to be a problem. You're going to make strange mistakes. Yeah,
you kind of just got to simmer it down, dial it back a little bit, just get in your head, stay focused. And but I'm glad he did have those words with Lorette. Lorette does such a great job of asking the right questions at the right time.
And that focus, you could see it, just that 1,000-yard stare of just, I don't know if he was staring at the podium at that point, but he's ready for it.
Yep, yeah, he has something to prove, man. He wanted to come over here, make an impact, and him just being here in the Final Four is just really shining a lot of light on his talent, coming together last minute, and talking to Sage before the season began, he's like, by the way, Shanahan it was a last minute strike of midnight, I'm coming. And everybody was stoked to hear that he's coming over to Pond. Here we go, Sorensen out front, Shanahan, and he applies the pressure once again. Sorensen high in the bank, Shanahan. He noses in that front left nostril of that BMW E36. Now transition in, boom, right there into formation, into the smoke pocket. Goes Shanahan, Sorensen, look at that minimal steering feed on the wheel, and wow. Once again, I mean, that is not a broken record. That is just absolutely back at it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Shanahan chasing here. You can see him creep up a little bit, and Sorensen, just the launch is so good. And then we see this dive in from Shanahan, who has to pull back a little bit. Seemed like Sorensen's initiation was a little bit late. Leaves that zone a touch early, but that transition, oh my God. That was absolutely wild as they come through the rest of the zone. So Brandon was a little bit wide on that second outside zone, which actually allowed Shanahan to do a dive like that. If you were a bit tighter in, he would have hit the side of him. So it's like, I don't know. It's like he's able to predict the future. I think time isn't slow for Shanahan.
Everything slows down. What movie is that where everything slows down? I don't know.
The Matrix? Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. No, seriously, it's like bullet time. Like, the fact that he's able to almost predict what's about to happen in the driver in front of him, I don't understand how it works.
Absolutely. Yeah, unreal. So, and now here he is up front, Sorensen. I mean, where he is driving on a level we have not seen from him before,
No.
just on a consistency level. We've seen some moments of greatness from him, but right now, maybe it's best that he's going against Shanahan, who he doesn't know what his track record looks like, and now here he is going against arguably one of the best in the world. Here we go, Sorensen initiates, he bangs the back end to back end. Do a little butt tap, car on car, beamer on beamer. Shanahan comes down into the power rally. You can see Sans that front bumper. Oh, Sorensen looked like a left or a right headlight bashing into that last outside sweeper and across the finish line.
Man.
So that power rally might have played a role here. Let's take a look. Sorensen, like I said, leveling up.
Yeah, okay, wow. Where do I even begin here? Brandon Sorensen is just on one tonight, and Shanahan out front gives him the perfect platform to be able to do what he is doing in the chase here. And we see Sorensen pushing through nice and wide through that. I mean, he's taking the inside line, which is great, and we start to see the taps happen now. 1, 2, 3, I don't even know. I've lost count at this point. I'm running out of words to talk about how incredible these runs are.
No, you can't.
Every single time we think that this isn't going to get better, it does. And it speaks to the consistency and how incredible these drivers are. They're able to do this over and over and over again. And it's all for our viewing pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't run out of words. You're paid for your words.
I know. I got
WPMs, baby. Words per minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Do we have a verdict? What do you guys think? The fans here in Orlando, who gets the win? Is it Brandon Sorensen? Or is it Connor Shanahan? Or do you want to see them go uno mas? One more time?
There we go.
They don't want to go home.
Man, I mean, I
don't
don't
wanna
want to
go
go
home.
home either, but I think really at this point, because of how good the line is, I want to make sure that everybody's filling all the zones correctly, but then it kind of comes down to the added angle that drivers were able to put in at this point. So, which even still, I mean, it's pretty close to these zones. You could say Brandon's got a bit more angle here or there, but Connor's got it in other spots, and man, I'm just happy I'm not a judge. That's it. I am so happy that I'm not a judge at this point in time. So, scores are in. Scores are in.
Connor Shanahan gets 1-2. Shanahan gets the win. It's unanimous. Shanahan, brother, cheering on James the Machine Dean. Clayton Triggs, he's drinking bottled wine. Who's cheering on Manoa? Make some noise. 14 years old. James the Machine Dean, three-time champ. Who's going to the finals against Connor Shanahan? James Dean initiates. Manoa right there. It's his dream to beat him. And here comes James Dean down into the pocket. Oh, Manoa overshoots, goes wild off the bank. That is a huge shock to Manoa's system. That is going to be huge, and that could have been way worse. What went wrong for Manoa? Off the bank, shot forward. Watch this again, Jacob. That's sketch.
James Dean puts
pucker
out a killer initiation. Now Manoa is trying to battle back in, pushing really, really hard as James Dean comes through here. Manoa just loses track of where he is, starts to dive, able to get the brakes on, because that could have been a T-bone. That could have gotten way, way worse. But wow, James Dean out in the lead though. Just we're seeing perfection over and over again, and it's going to be the drivers that are able to keep their composure, they keep their head on their shoulders, that are going to pass on. And right now, Manoa has a very small mistake that leads into a massive problem for him. And now he's going to be behind the 8 ball. Now he's going to be fighting back, and he has to put down perfection and hope that James Dean has some sort of very strange issue, or, you know, it doesn't happen for James Dean very often, but it does happen.
It does happen. We've seen him, I mean, do some amazing things. We've seen him, I mean, you know, when he made the jump over to RTR, he had to learn some things. You know, the way Vaughn and the RTR team sets up the vehicles is different from what he's seen over in Ireland, over in Europe. You know, he's driven it all. FD, S15, you know, BMWs, Eurofighters. He's driven it all.
Yeah.
He's never driven a Mustang until he came over here. But he's proven he can win. We did it earlier in Long Beach after a marshmallow fire. I mean, that thing went up in flames. RTR team worked, got the car back together. Testament to that hardworking team. And now Manoa, you know, he's praying for basically somebody who he absolutely admires to make a mistake. And, you know, that's a hard ask against a 3-time champion, James Dean. Manoa high on the bank. Now he's letting it all hang out, this 14-year-old. Here we go. Down. Let's see if James Dean holds it together. Looks like he does through the Smoke Canyon, the Smoke Valley, the killer crossover, whatever you want to call it. James Dean should be going to the finals. James the Machine Dean will be going to the finals after a major mistake by the 14-year-old. And with that, I believe unofficially Brandon Sorensen will get 3rd place.
Wow, I mean, on the box, good job there. But yeah, James Dean, I mean, he knows he's got the advantage here. All he has to do is lay down a run that is still active. Hiro Manoa, though, out front, does go a bit wide with that inside clip. But here's the thing, he's full of adrenaline. He knows he's got to put down a perfect run and hope that James Dean has a very uncharacteristic flaw, which did not happen here. So, you know what? Huge round of applause for Hiro Manoa, because this kid is here. He is making a statement, and this is the next generation of drifting that we're seeing right now.
Absolutely, and again, just that testimonial of James Dean got me into it. I've always wanted to compete against him, beat him. The case, not going to beat him today, but great effort. James Dean gets the win and is going to the finals. James Dean, Connor Shanahan. The finals are here in Orlando. Which Irish driver is going to get the win? James Dean initiates, big into the bank, big angle from him, an all-out show. They want to put on a show for you across the globe, across the pond, and it's really by James the Machine Dean. Shanahan backing off just a little bit. James Dean in the crease, right there in the middle tire, and Shanahan on the door. of James the Machine Dean, the right-hand drive Ford Mustang. Let's take a look at it again here, Jacob.
Yeah, great launch from both drivers, able to get off the line with a ton of speed. James Dean feints out, gets right into the wall, and now Connor Shanahan tucks into the pocket. You can see the size discrepancy between these cars, but the speed is matched all the way through both of them. Inside clip, fantastic. James Dean, big three-wheel as he gets back on the throttle. Now, Connor Shanahan pulling up like he pulls up the street because they live right next to each other. Right here in Orlando, literally neighbors going at it from across the pond. This is so...
This is storybook.
This is so storybook. It's so great.
And Shanahan said, he says, you know, I've always wanted to come to FT, battle James Dean. They've seen battles across the globe, but on Formula Drift stage, this is history. This is history in the making for Shanahan, for Dean, and for drifting, and for Formula Drift. And you know, we pride ourselves in being the premier international drifting sanction body, and this is a page in the history book that we will never forget. Shanahan and James Dean, who's coming out on top? Are we going to have a victor? Are they going one more time? Who's coming out on top? And again, Shanahan missing Atlanta, in Long Beach, had an early exit, and now proving why he is here, why he wanted to be here, and now he is going against a great friend. It's an Irish win, one way or the other. And we are ready to send our second run. Everybody, stomp your feet, make some noise. Let's get ready to send it on three. Yell, send it. 1, 2, 3. Send it! Shanahan out front, James Dean chasing him down. Irish eyes are smiling on which one of these drivers. Shanahan, big aggressive initiation. James Dean, right there, banging on his door. Like you said, he lives on the same street, Jacob. So there he is. Who's going to answer? Who's going to hold the top spot on the box? James Dean applies the pressure, has to back down. Into the crease goes Shanahan, but James Dean gives him a tap. Says, yes, sir. Welcome to FD. Put some respect on it. 3-time champion. James Dean says, welcome to the States. Shanahan and Dean, what a run.
This is the ultimate master versus apprentice battle here. Connor Shanahan out front, huge snap initiation right into the wall. Now James Dean on him the entire time, throwing it up against that BMW as they transition out. James Dean dives back in, that's another tap as they come through the inside clip. Now, James Dean hunts him down, shows him how fast these RTR is, gives him a little tap across the line. Wow.
That was insane.
Man.
You know, they have mutual respect. You know, metaphorically put some respect on it, but just chatting it up, man. You know, this is going to blow up the internet. It's live in full effect. RTR, ready to rock. This team has worked nothing but hard from last year's podium finish with a broken collarbone to this year's win in Long Beach for James Dean. But Shanahan making the jump, coming over here. I think it's great. It's really great to see. I mean, this is insane. Look at the evidence strewn across the track. If we have a winner, you will not see the graphic. And we are showing our BC Racing side by side. Sorensen gets third place, but who gets the win? Let's take a look at it here again. Our judges analyzing. What do you think? What's the point? Or don't talk about it, but walk us through it.
What it's going to be is the consistency really in the lead here. How long are they able to hold the car on the wall? How well can they transition? And these inside clips have kind of become the point of contention for a lot of these battles. How close can you get to it without absolutely punting it across the line? And then as we come through these outside zones, how long can you hold it? How consistent can you be? And then with the chase, it's not just about the contact. It's how well you can get the proximity without affecting the lead line, without smashing into the driver in front. It's great to make the contact, and it's absolutely beautiful. But you have to make sure you're doing it correctly and at the right time. So there are so many things at play right here. The judges are still discussing it. If you looked at that and just instantly knew, I don't believe you for a second.
Look at this. The helmets are off. You can see the right-hand drive Ford Mustang. Do we have a victor? Vern, Brian Eggert, Robin Ishida, they're tapping him in. And what a great effort. Here, let's hear you guys. Is it Shanahan? Is it, or is it James Dean? Or would you guys like to see him go one more time?
Everybody here, I mean, they paid for their ticket. They want to see as much as they possibly can, so.
All right, so again, Shanahan, James Dean, or what? You said you wanted to go one more time?
One more time!
Well, here it is. They're going one more time. Three. Send it. James Machine Dean, the AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 LP Shanahan chasing him down. Going into the big bank. Shanahan locked and loaded, both these guys. James Dean using all of that bank. Now into the smoke valley. A big gap. It looks like we got a tire. No, it looks like it's the base of a cliff as we are going down. James the Machine Dean into the crease. Shanahan coming across, and there we go. What looked like a tire, it was the clipping point base rolling across. Sage says, there's a tire. I said, no, it's not. It's a base. Here we go. How low can you go? Base!
Yeah, James Dean once again at the big swing, which basically sets Connor up to be able to chase really well. It's almost like giving him an assist and saying, come on, let's go. Let's do this. James Dean filling all of the first outside zone. And now Connor Shanahan bathing in smoke. Transitions out, has to find him again. Starts to dive back in, and now he tries to get that proximity back. But James Dean, look at that. It's almost like it was a photo. How stable and still that car is all the way through. Connor Shanahan has his work cut out for him. He did lose a little bit of track there. He's going to have to throw down something absolutely incredible. But if there's any time to do it, and if there's any person to do it, it's going to be Connor Shanahan. It's going to be here, and it's going to be now.
It's got to be bananas, dude. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Let's go. Shanahan, Dean, all Irish battle. The words were spoken, but bragging rights are on the line. Points are on the line. The carbon fiber trophy, the top step. Both of them will reek of champagne, joined by Brandon Sorensen. It's been a treacherous weekend here for all the drivers, a pro round and a lone round of pro. We will see you guys in New Jersey, either online or in the building, the purpose-built first ever America Drift Coliseum. Guess what? They still could go another time. We have seen multiple one more times, but here we go. Shanahan or James Dean. Who's going to be dominant? Let's send it! Shanahan and Dean through that start chicane. No cones were hit. The Type S lights are on. So are the acceleration lights. Going into the bank. Shanahan goes high. James Dean not as high as Shanahan was. Oh, and there he goes. We got contact. Here we go. James Dean! James Dean goes off. James Dean spins. Dean goes off. Shanahan continues on. Connor Shanahan is going to be your winner here in Orlando. Shanahan continues on, and donuts and celebration. Shanahan, the FD rookie, not a rookie to drifting, comes out on top. Let's take a look at it again. Unofficially, it looked like contact happened. He goes off, but want to make sure. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape.
Wow, Connor Shanahan, great initiation, gets right up on the wall. James Dean already starting to play catch up, and right here has that tap on Connor Shanahan, keeps going, but it throws James Dean off. That contact with the front wheel, maybe it kicked the wheel out of his hands. Either way, Connor Shanahan absolutely crushing it and finishes off that run. Wow, amazing. Connor Shanahan, James Dean, wow.
So, you know, I'm assuming that here's the replay. So here's what's contentious here. Watch the bank. They want to make sure there wasn't a decel that impeded on James Dean. Yeah, it was that small little decel. The judges, again, they are still reviewing the replay. Yeah, and James Dean beat it on that front left. Look at that front left. He's down to the wheel.
Yeah, so what Jared's getting at there is it did look like the decel light came on for a split second, and was that enough to cause the impact with James Dean? That's what it's going to come down to in the judge's decision. So, wow, we did see James obviously make that contact and then push wide, so you always have to ask yourself, why did that happen? Was that caused by something else? And we are asking for another replay just to check out that section so we can be sure. So what you're going to want to watch for are those decel lights in the front of Connor Shanahan's car. You can see it go red there for a second as he decels that initiation. We see a small one there before. Was that enough to push James Dean wide?
I mean, the judges are over here scrutinizing still. So again, it's not official that this is over. We saw a great lead run, but again, there might have been a decel there between Shanahan. Taking a look at it once again, running it back.
So this is the point right here. You see a bit of a left foot brake, and then moments after.
Tire on tire.
Yeah, moments after, James Dean then surges in. And was that enough? Was that contact, that slowdown enough from Connor Shanahan to cause the contact and then cause a spin out? You can see here, they're talking about it. And they're the international hand signs of drifting, both hands out, trying to discuss what's going on. I think either way, these drivers are happy.
Yeah, what a show. Make some noise for Regardless. We have not announced a winner. We have not announced a winner. The judges are still conversing over here. Shanahan, James Dean, Brandon Sorensen. Join him out there. We know Brandon Sorensen's in third place.
Wow. Wow. Are you not entertained? Is this not what you wanted?
All right. We have a winner. We have a winner. Everybody make some noise for our podium finishers. All right. Let's give third place away down here on track. Make some noise. His first podium here in the Formula Drift Air Force Las Vegas pilot. Make some noise for Brandon Sorensen.
Let's go.
And now your winner here at round 3, what we call scorched. Plenty of tires were scorched. Seeing a lot of skin out there because you didn't reapply your sunscreen, especially the Irishman out there. But we can only have one winner here at round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. It's 4 a.m. in Ireland right now. Grandmas are up, moms, sisters, brothers, family. The whole country is waiting. The winner here at round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship from Ireland is Connor Shanahan is your winner. Pilot of the Red Bull Garagistic BMW Vitour tires, Connor Shanahan, the FD rookie. Welcome and congratulations. You are the winner. And with that, make some noise. Second place here at round 3 and your points leader, 3-time champion, pilot of the AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD, James the Machine Dean in second place. The electricity, you can feel it. What a great battle. A lot of deliberation from our judges on that slowing down. Would love to have Jacob ask them later, but that's behind the scenes. Lorette, down to you. Irish eyes are smiling. Congratulations. Lorette, down to you with our winner, Connor the Shadow Shanahan. Woo!
I don't know if it has sunk in yet. You could see him just hit the ground. The emotion right now just bubbling up to the surface. What are you processing? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, for sure, it's an emotional one. You know, I've put a lot of work into my driving for many years, and this is rewarding to know that we're good enough to win anywhere in the world. So I've worked my ass off, to be honest. You know, my whole life, my family, everybody has sacrificed lots to get where we are, and you know, to be in this position here and winning a round of FT was always a dream, and to make it even more special, I got it to do with one of my best friends, a guy who's helped me out the whole journey. So it was quite nice. You know, I've enjoyed it every single way. And Rome CP, you guys wouldn't be able to watch me if it wasn't for this guy. So thank you so much, and his whole team and my team. He's an absolute legend, and without him, I wouldn't be here. And of course, all my incredible sponsors, everybody who believes in me since day one, and yeah, still pushing. We got lots left to do, but yeah, P1, baby.
Someone that believes in you, that stayed up until 4 a.m., your grandma, what would you like to say to her?
Yeah, for sure. Always I've got the support from home. I've got an incredible bunch of friends, and I've also got an incredible family. Mom and Dad, I love you guys. Jack was like a remote spotter this weekend. He was on the phone changing shock settings until the very end, so I can't thank him enough. He's always by my side, even if he's here or not, and you know, he knows cars and everything inside out, and without him I would be lost with setup and everything. So honestly, my family, my friends, everybody back home cheering on, and of course to the whole Irish gang and the fans all around the world, thank you so much. We did it.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Connor Shanahan.
Banging roofs, banging doors, lighting fires, and what a show. Jacob, what a great event. There it is. Look at RCP and his crew. He's thanking them. I love Jack. You know, I wondered if he was chiming in remotely. That's exactly what he does, just like Kemp Curley is right now as well. What a show. Hat tip to the judges. Just some tough battles. It was proximity and angle fest here this weekend.
Yeah, this was some of the best tandem we've ever seen in drifting. It was incredible. whatever you say about this place, these rounds, these battles are just so top-notch.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they were on rails, they were on magnets, Velcro, whatever analogy you want to use. But Ireland comes out on top. The Irish are smiling. We're gonna party, and everybody wins at this event. From last night's seating brackets, the format, it really showed up, and it showed why we made these choices to modify qualifying from single run qualifying to seating brackets.
Yeah, the young guns are here. The new generation of drifting is here, and we're getting to watch it in real time. It only gets better from here, Jared.
Manoa Sorensen, congratulations, his FD podium, his first FD podium, but what a show. On behalf of our judges, again, Robin Ishida, Brian Egger, thank you so much to Vernon. Of course, we'll see Reese Marin. Next stop, Formula Jeff, New Jersey, June 20th and 22nd. That's just in 19 days, that's right. So again, that is round 2 of the Pro Spec Championship, round 4 of the Pro Championship. On behalf of Lorette Nickel, Jacob Gettens, Ryan Sage, Chris Yule, everybody, all the FD staff, thank you to all the sponsors. We'll see you in New Jersey, we'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. Congratulations to FD rookie Connor Shanahan for getting the win here in Orlando. We'll see you in Jersey. Send it, Formula Drift Nation.